Democratic Alliance in Gauteng has raised some concerns over planned water cuts. The party's Solly Msimanga says Rand Water has failed to communicate the planned outages, which are going to hit various areas of Joburg, Tshwane, Ekurhuleni and Mogale City next week. Let's get some reaction from Singo, Executive Manager at Rand Water. Mr. Singo, very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. The DA has expressed some concern. What's your reaction to that?
Right. Good afternoon, Mpho, and good afternoon to the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. I think there are a few things that we need to put, straight and just give our viewers facts as they are supposed to be presented. Firstly, the relationship between ourselves and municipalities and industries is governed by the bulk water supply contract. So between ourselves and those institutions, we've got a relationship of bulk water supply. So we supply them with bulk water. Those are metros, municipalities and industries. In that contract, the bulk water supply contract, we are very clear in terms of how we should be communicating. So there are two things that are very, very critical. One, Section 11 speaks to the communication, or it provides the protocol of the communication in as far as maintenance is concerned, and that is maintenance that is planned. So what is important therein is that if it is a planned maintenance, communication, municipalities, industries, metros shall be given a 21 days notice. And to this day, we are clear that we have been able to communicate to all our customers effectively and appropriately. We have gone as far as beyond just communicating to the municipalities and industries. We've also issued media statements. You'll also realize that in many occasions, immediately after we communicate with the municipalities will take it upon themselves to issue their own media statements. So our communication is very clear. So I spoke to the first one in Section 11.
Yes. Sorry, just before you tell me about the second one, you speak about a 21-day notice period in advance.
Correct.
So you are confident that you've followed those processes and your communication started, happened within that 21-day period.
Yes.
If so, why does the Gauteng leader of the DA, Solly Msimanga, say that there is poor communication and that he's raising these alarm bells, saying that it comes of great concern?
I wouldn't know where he gets that information from, but between ourselves and our technical counterparts within municipalities, we know that gets done. Just a few days ago, we had a meeting with the executive mayor of the city of Joburg. The very same communication protocol was explained to the city, and the executive mayor understood, and there were a few proposals that were made. But in as far as the bulk water services contract is concerned, we follow that to the letter.
The concern here is that the concern that's been raised by Solly Msimanga is that you're going to be placing residents in a very dire situation because municipalities do not have sufficient water tankers. What is your reaction?
Let's start here. When we communicate the maintenance work or emergencies, and in the main maintenance work 21 days before time, the intention is to provide municipalities with sufficient time to plan ahead, whether the procurement of the tankers or the holding back of water in the reservoirs. So that is the intention of the 21 days in advance. Now, there is also an assertion that we do not provide tankers. Indeed, the bulk water supply contract that we entered with the municipalities is that we provide bulk water. And municipalities will then have to find alternative ways to provide water to residents. And that's what has been happening over the number of years. I may just need to add that occasionally, when requested, we would then assist. The city of Joburg can attest to that, would then assist here and there in providing tankers. However, let me say it clear, the contract does not provide for rainwater to supply tankers. Ours is to provide bulk water to the municipalities, and in the event that there are these interruptions, particularly planned ones, municipalities will provide tankers.
You say you had a meeting with the Joburg mayor. What was her reaction to this notice that you say was given within the 21-day period?
Look, the meeting was not necessarily about that shutdown. It was basically to understand our engagements with the municipalities and how we communicate. The mayor, as I understand, was taken through the bulk water supply contract, and that was understood and appreciated.
The other issue that's been raised here is that provincial disaster management does not have water tankers to assist municipalities with this, municipalities to provide water for the affected residents. That seems to be the issue at this point.
Yeah. Look, my mandate is to talk on behalf of rainwater. So I think in terms of what the province has, in terms of what the municipality has, I think they would respond to that. But as rainwater, what we can promise is that when we do the shutdowns, we'll provide adequate time, except if it is an emergency. And Section 13 speaks to the protocol when there are emergencies. So we will be able to assist. We can be able to assist in us doing and performing the shutdowns on time.
And very lastly, why is this shutdown necessary?
I think one of the issues that was raised there is that we don't do maintenance, we don't plan ahead. Now, when the 21 days notice speaks to us planning ahead, perhaps one, if we are adding a new infrastructure into the system, or we are replacing a portion of that plant. Can I just address one issue? I think that is very key, and I think the viewers would want to understand this. There is also an assertion that speaks to maybe two things, an assertion that speaks to a proposal for the water treatment plants to be national key points. There is no need to do that. Over 35 years ago, all rainwater infrastructure were declared to be national key points, and that can be verified with the National Key Point Secretariat. The second one that is important is the issue of concrete pipes, that asbestos pipes. Rainwater does not have asbestos pipes in its infrastructure, not at all. So that is a misrepresentation of information, and we don't know where that information comes from. But there is no one who has visited any of our plants that found that at a national key point there's free access. In actual fact, access is highly controlled because we are a national key point. Would like to know which of the plants were visited that had free access. But we certainly can confirm that Mr. Msimanga has not visited any of our rainwater plants.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now, and thank you for your time. Reaction there from Eddie Singo, Executive Manager at Rand Water, speaking to some of the assertions that were raised by DA leader, Gauteng leader Solly Msimanga, about not being told in advance. He says 21 days was given. Also speaking to these planned outages from the 1st of April to the 3rd in Tshwane, Joburg, Ekurhuleni and Mogale City. In just